Hello friends and welcome back. Today we have a brand new video and once again we are playing Aviator, one of the most exciting crash games online. I've pinned the link to the game in the comments below this video, so make sure you join in and try it for yourself. In this session our goal is to catch higher multipliers, so we are going to follow a specific strategy. In the first betting panel we will place 500 rupees with auto cash out set at x5. In the second panel, we set 1,000 rupees with auto cash out at x7. Let's place the very first bet and take off. Right now, the balance shows 111,000. Remember this number so we can compare at the end of the session and see how much profit we make. We need a multiplier of 5 here. Looking at today's history, multipliers like 5 or 7 don't appear too often, but when they do, it can be a game changer. That's why we'll try our best to catch one today. First bet of 500 rupees for x5. Unfortunately, it did not work. So we switched to the second bet of 1,000 rupees aiming for x7. This is going to be a risky game today, but if things go wrong, we will adjust the strategy and adapt to the market mood. The plane flies, multiplier climbs, 3, 5, 7, even 10. Perfect. The bet lands successfully and we already have solid profit. Honestly, we could end the video here because we've already earned enough. But let's continue. Back to the first panel. 500 rupees at x5. Usually after a high multiplier, the next few rounds drop quickly, often below x2. And indeed, we only get around x3 this time. That's why it makes sense to lower risk when you are already in profit. Now let's set a safer target. 500 rupees with cash out at x3. The most important rule is to protect the balance and avoid greed. Once again, bet placed, the plane takes off. 1.3, 1.6. Cash out hits below target, unfortunately not enough. We try again. 1,000 rupees at x7 in one window, 500 rupees at x3 in the other. Both bets miss, balance drops slightly. That's fine, part of the game. We continue with the same amounts. Soon we nearly hit x3, but the plane crashes early. Almost there, but not quite. We keep pushing. Now, to adjust, let's change the plan. In the first panel, we set 1,000 rupees at x squared. In the second panel, 2,000 rupees also at x squared. Why x squared? Because statistically, it appears much more often. The principle here is simple. If the first bet fails, the second bet covers the loss. This is a progression system that can protect the bankroll. First attempt, 1,000 rupees at x2. The plane goes 1.6, 1.9, nearly x2, but crashes just before. That's a loss, but not a problem. Now we place 2,000 rupees at x squared. And this time it lands, balance increases again, recovering some of the drop. We reset to 1,000 rupees and continue. Once again, the first bet fails, so we go to 2,000. To prepare, in the first window we already line up 4,000 rupees in case we need to cover again. The second bet of 2,000 doesn't work either, meaning it's time for 4,000. This is where we enter a streak of losses, and in Aviator that can happen. Now we raise to 8,000 in the backup panel. Luckily, that one lands at x2, and the balance jumps back to 111,000, the original mark. Reset again to 1,000 and 2,000, place the bets. But the game is tough, both miss again. Balance drops to 109,000. We keep trying, 1,000 and 2,000. Another miss. This is a rough session with a lot of red. But even holding the balance without sinking too much is already proof that the strategy can stabilize. We continue with 8,000 rupees, and while we wait, notice how often huge multipliers appear when we are not in the round. That's the nature of Aviator, always tempting. Finally, another round. We place 4,000 in one panel, 8,000 in another. Both fail. Balance drops to 88,000. Now the game becomes truly intense. In the previous video, we had a similar situation, a deep drawdown, but eventually we climbed back into profit. That's why I recommend you watch the earlier session too. Here again, we aim for x2. Almost there at 1.98, just a fraction short. Another bet, another close miss. The tension builds. We continue with 4,000, then 8,000, trying to fight back. Finally, the bet lands. Balance climbs to 52,000. Still down, but proof that the system recovers. We risk again with 8,000. Multiplier flies high to x12, but we weren't in. If we had been, the profit would be massive. That's the thrill and the pain of this game. Another attempt. Balance shrinks to 28,000. Now it's truly dangerous territory. One more bet at x2. Finally it lands. Balance rises to 52,000. We push again with 8,000, but crash at x1. Balance goes back down. This session shows perfectly how emotions can take over. I kept chasing, and it didn't play in my favor. That's why my main advice to you is, always control emotions and always control the bankroll. Without discipline, you will lose. With discipline, you can use this game as an opportunity. So for today, we will stop here. In the next video, I will show you how to recover and climb back up. Remember, the link to Aviator is in the description and pinned comment. Join, test the strategy, and play responsibly. Thank you for watching. See you next time.